Hi everyone, welcome to Google Cloud OnBoard GCP Fundamentals, a 3-day training session. Today we're going to be focusing on big data and machine learning, two popular topics. We're coming to you live from Singapore, but we've had over 33,000 registrations from across the region. The response has been overwhelming. And yesterday, many of you gave us great feedback on how we could make this better, and we've done exactly that. We have more people standing by to answer questions. Speaking of questions, let me tell you a little bit about how the navigation works. So you'll see the home button, which will tell you the agenda for the day, and will also always get you back to the live stream. And the important one is that Q&A button, where we have experts standing by ready to assist. Due to the overwhelming response, and thank you so much for the feedback and for showing up today, we've increased the number of people that are answering those questions to make sure that we can get through more of those questions faster. Also, in terms of the hands-on labs, it's very important that the email that you got earlier today has a link in it. If you could click on that link and make sure that you have a Quick Labs account. If you do not have a Quick Labs account, you will be taken through a registration process so you can get signed up for Quick Labs. If you already have a Quick Labs account, just use the Quick Labs account that you set up previously. Later on today, one of our engineers, Han, will be taking you through a hands-on lab. This is a guided session, but you don't have to do the lab immediately. In fact, there are points in that lab where one would normally have to wait for example, machine learning training to be done. Of course, since we're trying to do this as a session, we're not going to wait for those models to get trained, so Han is going to jump ahead. However, that recording will be available to you, and you can walk through those labs at your own pace. Today, you'll also be getting an e-certificate. It's a fantastic signal to everyone that you're on your way on your learning journey. This is not tied directly, however, to the engineering certifications. The engineering certifications are done via a moderated test, so please look in your emails for information around how to do those certifications and how to register for those online tests. Today is a great way to get started for the data engineering certification. Today we'll be going through 4 modules. The first module will give you an introduction to the Google Cloud platform and how it supports data analytics and machine learning. In the second module, we'll talk about recommendations and predictions. On the third module, we'll talk about real-time dashboards. So how do we actually take those different sources and present those onto a dashboard? And finally, in the fourth module, we'll talk specifically about machine learning. As I said before, after that, we'll have the hands-on lab. So please, if you'd like to get your Quick Labs account set up, please do so. Based on the feedback that we received yesterday, Han will also spend a little bit more time talking about how to set up your environment before the labs begin. I'll also join a little bit later to re-emphasize how to get prepared for those hands-on labs. Thank you so much for joining us, and please remember to ask questions in the Q&A, and if you have an answer, be prepared to answer those questions as well. This is a community event, and we want to make sure the conversation keeps going. Speaking of community, we actually have our Developer Relations Program Manager here with us today, Mani. Mani, thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure, Jay. Thank you for having me here.
Great. So, Mani, you're heading up Developer Relations. Can you tell me a little bit about what Developer Relations does and how it involves the greater community?
Sure, absolutely. Google's products are used by millions of developers worldwide. You could be a front-end developer building JavaScript applications. You could be a data scientist wanting to learn TensorFlow, right? Or you could be a mobile developer using Flutter or Kotlin or one of our mobile programming languages. Our goal as developer relations is to ensure developers everywhere in the world are successful when they're using Google tools. And one of the ways we do it is through developer communities. It could be very simple to understand that developer communities are places where developers come together to learn from each other. This could be online or offline. An online good example is Stack Overflow, where developers ask questions and other developers help them with answers. This can also be replicated offline in case of events where developers come together, learn a technology, speak to other experts, get their questions clarified, and then learn together. That's the community spirit that we want to build in developer relations.
Fantastic. And to be more specific, can you tell me about GDG?
Sure. I'll first tell why someone should join a developer community,
Great.
right? There are three reasons why I think every developer should be encouraged to join a developer community. One is to learn. Like I said, by interacting with other developers in other companies, in other industries, you get exposed to more problems and how other developers are solving these problems. You naturally learn in this process. The other is to connect. By connecting with other developers, you're growing your own personal network, and this could help you in your future careers. Third would be to grow by contributing back to the community, by contributing to open source. You as a developer are professionally growing, right? When you talk about the best practices that you have seen in your own problems, in your own solutions, that's when you're also growing. So I would say anybody should join a developer community for three reasons: learn, connect, grow. To make this possible, we have a program called GDG, Google Developer Groups. It's on the website g.co/dev/GDG. And there are over 1,000 developer communities globally where you can learn Google technologies, whoever you are. Maybe you're a front end developer, maybe a data scientist, maybe a mobile developer, anybody who's using Google technologies, there will be something you can learn from a GDG. Um, uh, so GDGs host workshops, talks, conferences. So no matter, like I said, who you are, there's always something you can learn from a GDG event. And there's one very close to you.
Great. So, we have many different people joining with many different skills, some more experienced than others. For somebody who is just starting out, what is something that they can do to get started quickly?
Sure. Let's take students, for example, right? Students are a vast population of developers in Asia where developers. So we started a program called Developer Student Clubs just 2 years ago, and we saw that there is a vast gap in many parts of the world between what is taught in school and what the industry needs. So to bridge this gap, we started Developer Student Clubs, where we work with student leaders inside universities who teach other developers inside their university what some of the newest technologies are and how they can build projects or contribute back to the community by learning these technologies. So we have over 1,000 universities all over the world where there is a developer student club lead who is educating and teaching other developers in the same campus about Google technology so that they can learn and prepare themselves for a career in the tech industry.
Great. So, learning, connecting, growing. In order to do those things, we need to share experiences from a diverse set of backgrounds. And I'm sure we have a diverse group of people watching today. Can you talk a little bit about one of the programs that we're doing in order to increase the diversity in technology groups?
Sure, absolutely. We understand and truly believe that diversity is a critical thing for success as a tech industry. And we understand that there are big gaps today, especially with respect to gender in the tech industry. So one way we're looking to solve for that is through a program called Women Tech Makers that's available on womentechmakers.com. And the objective of the program is to provide visibility, community, and resources to women so that they can thrive in the tech industry. I'll give you a simple example. This could mean connecting with local role models in the tech industry so that a budding women developer can be inspired as she joins the tech industry. Or it could be finding support with one another in the form of a community. Or it could be applied skills training that can be seen as critical for the growth of the women developers so that when she goes through different levels in the tech industry, she is able to succeed. So that's womentechmakers.com. And we do it through the help of hundreds of passionate women tech maker ambassadors all around the world who speak about the importance of diversity, make a change every day.
Great. Mani, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for helping us build great communities.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for all the developers who build fantastic tools on Google platforms and make our day enriching every day. Thank you.
Great. If you'd like to know more about GDG, Google Developer Groups, please click on the link below or copy paste that link. I want to take a moment here to talk about the different communities that we have and those of us watching. Obviously, this is a very difficult time for many of us, and I would like to thank you for joining us today from wherever you might be working. It's important to keep these conversations going, and it's important to be a part of a community. If you can't be a part in person, it's important to be a part digitally. So please get involved, have a conversation in the comments below, help out your fellow developers and practitioners by asking and answering some questions and getting connected with each other. Follow the hashtag Google Cloud OnBoard on social media, again, to find out who else might be working with these products in your region and who else might be attending today. We're all connected digitally, and we're all working together in order to be good learners and help everyone grow personally. So today we are focusing on big data and machine learning. We have 4 fantastic modules for you. Your instructor today is Ify Lin. So if you joined us yesterday, he will be taking us through 4 modules. The first module, an introduction to the platform and specifically how it's going to help as a foundation for data. We'll also be talking about real-time dashboards and machine learning and around recommendations and predictions. So again, hit the home button if you'd like to know more about the agenda for today, and hit that Q&A button, get involved, and help us communicate. It's not too late to register. If you would know of anybody who might be interested in the content that we have today, please feel free to forward that email to them so that they can register as well. I will be back a little bit later during one of the breaks to help you get prepared for our labs that we'll have later today. Han will be taking us through those labs, and you'll be able to understand how Quick Labs works and have a guided tour through one of those labs. Remember that you don't have to do the lab at the same time that Han is doing it during that guided tour. You can go through the lab at your own pace, and the recording will be available to you later on so that you can use that guided tour as well. Han will also talk a little bit about our Cloud Hero competition, but more on that later. Again, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Please stay involved. Please get involved in your community. Stay connected to others, and enjoy your session today. Tomorrow, we'll be back again to talk about application development on Google Cloud Platform. I just want to take just a second again to thank you so much for joining us. The response has been absolutely overwhelming, but please don't let that stop you. Ask questions, stay involved, and forward this to others who might also get value out of today. Thanks, and enjoy your session today.